right, welcome back, watch fans. We have an amazing episode for you today. That's right, unbelievable but true. Exactly, unbelievable but true. We're going to be talking about John Reardon. That's right, John Reardon. The so-called Patek expert. Let me get my banners put up. Where we're doing a little Archie luxury rebel stream. That's right, the rebel stream has started. So tell all your friends here. Hang on a second. Let me get this up. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Tomato can. So this is oh, what happened to my thing here? Oh, I see. Okay, hang on a second. It's fucking StreamYard. What are they doing? StreamYard. Timer off. There we go. Yeah, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about marketing
below. We really appreciate
John Reardon. This tomato can. Let me get this set up. Make sure we got the settings. We don't want to get what do you call it? We don't want to get the thing blocked. Playback speed. We'll do. They changed everything here. Okay, there we go. So basically, this guy John Reardon. He bought a bunch of watches at auction that he's trying to flip. Okay, and which is very interesting. That's kind of a hard thing to do. You to buy stuff and you try to flip it immediately, because what happens is all the crayon eaters, the window lookers, they know what you paid, so it's hard to make a profit when the window, because everybody knows, everybody is a marketing genius, so they don't want you to make any money. The punters don't want you to make any money. So what happens is it's very challenging. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about. Here we go. So this is it. Let's watch this. There's some good content in here. Believe it or not, there is actually some very good content on this little show he did.
Appreciate it. Now let's get started. Today's episode is the biography of Rene Patel. It's a name you may not know, but after you watch this video, you're not only going to be informed, but hopefully inspired by this amazing person's life, because he was a genius. He was a designer, art director, and he was
the marketing genius. Oh, we got the Baron von Noob, who is a member of the channel. Yeah, there we go. Baron von Noob, an aristocrat. By the way, speaking of aristocrats, Baron von Noob, I believe. Oh, it's actually interesting. Baron von Noob. What's interesting is I think you're from Bukakistan or like the Netherlands somewhere. And speaking of aristocrats, I have actually a story for you about Liechtenstein. That's right, Liechtenstein. We got a long time aristocrat, Baron Red. Baron, hop on the channel. Yeah, we got. Are you familiar with Liechtenstein? Have you ever been there? I got some Jeffrey Epstein content coming up. Legitimately, we got legitimate Jeffrey Epstein content. I actually am now, I actually was 1 degree removed from Jeffrey Epstein. Now I actually, I have a big reveal, because this is kind of tangentially related to this show about Patek Philippe. But yeah, tangentially, now we have a real Jeffrey Epstein artifact incoming. That's right, unbelievable. You're not going to believe this. It's actually going to be. This is going to be a real piece of, So hang on a second. We got to get, if any of the too small to notice. Okay, so let's watch this. This is actually a very good show. Check this out. This guy. All kidding aside. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you about this Bukiak. What's his name? John Reardon. I have an issue. Oh, look at this. We got the Duke. We got the Baron Red.
What's going on, Colonel?
Hey, Baron, long time. We haven't seen you in a long time. Glad to have you in. Where have you been?
Yeah, no, I've been around. I think I just missed a couple live streams. I think you had two where you were reviewing auctions.
Oh, look at this! I like your new image. Listen. You've upgraded. This is like an official aristocrat now.
Yeah, yeah.
Now this is unbelievable. By the way, we got legitimate Jeffrey Epstein content coming up. But first, we got to talk about John. You know John Reardon, right?
I may have seen a few of his videos.
He's the guy. He basically is a guy that he's like some tomato can that was working at like Christie's. Yeah, they hired this guy, and he was like, what was he doing? He was doing like watch grifting, and then I think he went to work. No, I think he first worked at Patek doing some sort of like, I don't know, marketing bullshit or whatever. Anyway, he actually wrote a book. I haven't read the book. It's something Patek in America. Whatever. Anyway, he's a self-proclaimed Patek expert, and he left Christie's or Sotheby's, wherever he was, and he's basically spruiking watches on his own. He's got a channel called Collectability. Now, here's the thing. Now, he actually does know. Listen, in all seriousness, he knows a lot about Patek. However, now when I encountered this gentleman, because listen, I'm a fan of the Ellipse. I'm a big fan of the Ellipse, as is John Reardon. And I asked him about a watch. I said, "Hey, do you have this available?" I mentioned a specific model, which was like the TV dial, which is a great watch. And he didn't know what the fuck it was. He like this guy, he's all these guys, all these fucking watch experts. They're all like self-proclaimed experts. They know like all these. What these guys know is whatever they read that week. That's like Bobby Google. Remember Bobby Google?
Yeah. It's Pillsbury Doughboy, right?
Yeah. These Bobby Google, the Pillsbury Doughboy, John Reardon, all these guys. They basically Googled stuff. Ask Chat GPT, and now they're an expert, right? It's like the Kessel, that other Bukiak. By the way, speaking of Bukiaks, now I know this guy. Let me tell you why this guy's a tomato can and a Bukiak. Two reasons. Reason number two is he wears a Nautilus. An Aquanaut. The original version of the Aquanaut that came out in the in the 90s. It's like the ugly one, the shitty, nasty, vicious.
Yep. The one that no one wanted.
Yeah, it's ugly. The lugs, the whole thing is fucked up, right? And he actually bought that watch, right? Like recently, he didn't buy it. Like guy bought it, I don't know, 5 years, whatever it was. He's not the original, but he's like a guy who jumped on the bandwagon. Now here's the number one reason why this guy's a no good, Crumbum, window licking tomato can. Because I invited him to be on the show. That's right, on this channel. I rolled out the red carpet. I sent him emails. I left messages. Never heard from this cocksucker. Never heard from him. He never responded. Can you believe that?
No, it's terrible. At least you should, respond back.
Well, I noticed in the watch, a lot of these watch people in the watch, they really have no. They never respond to anything. Like, and I'm talking about even for like legitimate business, they never like. It's impossible to communicate with these people, which is very weird because these guys are basically low life degenerates. Yeah, I deal with like real business people. I can get a guy who it's easy. Most serious people, a guy who's like doing like a billionaire, whatever, you can get them on the phone anytime. They return phone calls. Anybody who runs a serious business they return a call, or return an email. That's how they became successful. This Bukiak, I'm here to I offered him an opportunity to become a star and to engage with people, with aristocrats like yourself, like Baron von Noob, and he ignored. But anyway, so let's get into this video he did, because actually there's some good content. But first we gotta expose him for the Crumbum that he is.
The advertising strategist that, together with Patek Philippe, led the messaging campaign that defined the brand right after the courts.
Oh, hang on. Let's start with the beginning. Here we go.
Patek Philippe, how to speak.
Okay, so basically there's a guy, hang on, it's a very interesting Patek history. We're going to find out. This is actually legitimate content.
Before we get started, it is so important that you click that subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. Now let's get started. Today's episode is the biography of René Betel. It's a name you may not know, but after you watch this.
René Betel. Who is René Betel?
video, you're not only going to be informed, but hopefully inspired by this amazing person's life, because he was a genius. He was a designer, art
Marketing
director,
genius.
and he was the advertising strategist that, together with Patek Philippe, led the messaging campaign that defined the brand right after the quartz revolution, well into the 1980s. In fact, he's also a key figure in my book, Patek Philippe in America. So not much has been written about Rene Patel. However, there's an amazing article from back in 2018 that was published on SJX.
SJX, Baron, are you familiar with SJX?
I have not. Is that like a magazine?
SJX is a web. It's like a blog or something out of either Singapore or Hong Kong. So these people might be related to you, right? And they do excellent watch content. Like they're like the best watch content, not like Hodinkee, because the best collectors are really in Hong Kong. Like these guys know what they're doing. It's not like
that's right. Like
tomato cans.
Yeah, that's like it's like one of our channel members. Bruce Lee.
Right. Bruce Lee. No, but SJX actually has very good content. It's a blog or some sort of a thing, but they do like serious stuff. They're not like these chomos at Hodinkee.
By Alan Downing, who really has the ultimate biography of Rene Patel. And I encourage you to go over to SJX to have a read through. A small circle of people actually know who Patel was.
So this is Rene Patel. Let's find out who this gentleman is.
And even a smaller circle remember working with him. And I'm going to combine some of those stories today to share with you a concise guide of all things Rene Patel. So backstory. Earlier this year, I was in Geneva, walking down the street next to the lake, and I saw a sign. It was actually one of those banners that you see in Geneva. It showed a reference 5015J. And under it, it said, from the collection of Rene Patel, Geneva and Cher, which was the auction house. I was shocked. This meant the Patel watches were coming up onto the market.
The Rene Patel collection. Let's see what kind of great stuff this. Now this guy was intimately involved in Patek Philippe. This guy's basically like sitting across the desk from, Philippe Stern, this Rene Patel guy. He actually legitimately is a marketing genius. Now, what kind of watches does Rene Patel have? Let's find out. And his watches are coming up for auction.
And I didn't even know there was a stash of Patel watches still in existence. So I immediately contacted the auction house in Geneva. And one of the employees kindly showed me the watches later that afternoon. He opened out of a shoebox 7 pieces, which I just looked at in awe. Keep in mind, Patel died in 1996, so I was able to witness firsthand a time capsule of this previously unknown pieces from a hero from the world of Patek Philippe. So as I look through that box, each of these watches with their original straps, I don't think have been used.
These are Rene Patel's watches. Do you recognize any of these models?
Yeah, it's too small. I can't really get a good look.
Oh, hang on. The screen is too small. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, I'm also looking at it on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, your phone. How dare you watch this show on your phone? You should be watching this on a large screen.
Yeah, I'm also at the office right now.
Oh, at the office? Oh, that's good. Okay, that makes sense.
For decades, I was able to witness a true time capsule from this era. I was so excited at that moment. I posted an IG saying that I just.
Okay, now we're going to give I'm going to give you the reality of what these watches are. But let's see. There's good content here.
Just witnessed the most important watch coming up for sale this auction season, but I did not share any details or any explanation.
Oh, okay. So he knew. John Reardon knew that this collection was coming up, but it's public knowledge that these watches are coming up. Because it's not a secret; it's an auction. But he did not tell anybody about this auction. Unlike this channel, where we are very transparent. That's right. We are transparent. We expose everything that's going on. But John Reardon, being the lowlife diller, this guy, he's like he's like a step above Anthony Farrar. This guy did not mention about this. Now, why would he not do that? Let's find out.
At that point,
he's gatekeeping.
Frankly, because I intended on buying all of these watches in the auction, which wasn't held.
He wanted to buy them himself. That's right.
Until September 25th. So enthusiastically set up phone bidding and waited for the big day to arrive.
So the idea is, it's a pump and dump. He buys them. He buys the watches, and then now, a few months later, he starts hyping it up so that he could sell them to you at, I don't know how much more. Like a double what he paid? I don't know. What do you think? How much do you think what kind of premium do you think the guy is going to try to get?
For a YouTube guy, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's asking for double or more.
It's interesting. Yeah, but it's very hard to do because everybody knows what the guy pays, right? So it's hard to do it, but it could be done. But let's see what he says.
No, bidding at auction, it's a wonderfully addictive, adrenaline-filled experience, but also fraught with risk. And I had a couple things working against me. The weak dollar, a 25% buyer's premium, and at that point, 39% tariffs working against me. It was not an ideal situation, but I had some things working in my favor. I knew I had a bit of scholarship in the wings and full knowledge of the historical importance of these pieces. So,
historical importance of the pieces. Are these pieces? Let's find out.
Before I share with you what happened at the auction, let's look back at Rene Batel, who he was, and explore.
Okay, here comes the good part. This is actually good content from John Reardon.
His legacy in the world of Patek Philippe. After World War II, Swiss graphic design became a very powerful medium of advertising, and more people were looking to Madison Avenue and Switzerland for this particular form of advertising.
Okay, that's not true. Switzerland was known for graphic design. Okay, Switzerland was known for graphic design. Probably, I don't know, maybe starting in the 20s. I mean, but definitely post-war. Starting in the 50s, things really picked up. The Swiss really were. I mean, they had some great graphic design. I mean, they invented the Helvetica font, the Helvetica font. That's them. But they had some great graphic design. It has nothing to do with advertising. But anyway, let's go.
Inside that tradition was a rising star named Rene Batel. He was born in Switzerland in 1928, and by the late 50s, early.
Oh, look, he's sitting in a Herman Miller, or what's that chair? It's made by Knoll. I think it's a Knoll Herman, whatever it's.
60s. He was working for accounts as wide as Swissair, and also for the Swiss ski industry to bring people from America into Switzerland to enjoy the slopes. At that point, he wasn't much of a celebrity, but he was a small circle of insiders that made some of the most classical images from the Swiss advertising era.
He basically was like he basically was an art director. Really, that's what he was. He was like an art director, creating the ad.
That time, he worked in New York, in fact, with a gentleman named Herb Llewellyn, and famously designed this ad in front of me for skiing. And this is from 1960.
There you go, very clean, typical design. Mid-century modern type of design.
Many years later, until Batel started at Patek Philippe, it was not until the mid-1980s that he was tasked with the challenge of getting new money, like newly earned Wall Street money, interested in the world of Patek Philippe. But here's the problem. At that period of time, it was all about Quartz timekeeping.
So this guy, Rene Batel, I think, did they hire him? Okay, so basically Patek hired him in the 80s.
Everyone believed that a Quartz timekeeper was the best and the most accurate. So he really needed to persuade a new audience to believe that a mechanical Patek Philippe was truly the best watch in the world. His belief at the time, and it's ambitious in its simplicity, was.
So I guess Philippe Stern had a choice. Does he hire Anthony Farr, marketing genius, or Rene Batel? Let's find out what Philippe Stern decided to do.
Convince people who knew nothing except quartz watches that this obsolete product was in fact the best watch in the world. And I think history has proven that he was quite ahead of his time sharing that message.
Yes.
So he decided to share an image and a concept. And I think many of you might be quite familiar with this ad. Legend has it that Batel sketched.
Okay. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so this is like a typical 80s, I don't know, this is like late 70s or 80s ad. But what's interesting is this. I was looking at the ad. Now I know, you know what? I know that the Baron Red, looking at this ad, he's going to spot the errors in this ad. Baron Red, what are the errors in this ad?
If I remember from my marketing class, it's there's way too much text, and also the way it's positioned is off. Just because it's yeah, go ahead.
To get hold on, I thought you were detail oriented. What's wrong with this ad? How come I see this right away and you don't?
I don't know. It's let's see what we got here. Is it the text? I would say just in general, it's I don't know. It's not. It's too much to go through. That's just my initial assessment. I'm looking at it. It's you got to read it. So you're trying to look at the picture.
Yeah, he's got a close-up of a page. It's a full page ad, which is like typical, of ads back up until, nobody reads magazines, but, you had a full page ad and they did like a long copy. They had a lot of text, which was good, which was what sold the story. So you have this great picture, right? Like the guy is holding it right in front of you. It looks very good. But here's the thing that bothers me. That second to last paragraph, let's read the paragraph. And if we may draw a conclusion from 5 centuries of experience, it will be this. Okay, so it's missing a, a comma. Is that what it's called, a comma? I mean, this is an ad. This is a Swiss guy. I mean, it's a disgrace to Switzerland, a country known for meticulousness would have a typographical error. And a grammatical error right in the ad.
Mm-hmm.
Even Baron von Neumann could spot this. So look at the paragraph. And if we may draw a conclusion from 5 generations of experience, it would be this. It should be a, what do you call it, colon, or the 2 dots on top. I don't know.
Yep.
What do they call it? Choose once, but choose well. I think also there you need a comma. Anyway, a Patek Philippe, because it's for a lifetime. That might be a little bit. It's something. The grammar is a little bit like it looks like some sort of European that like they just got English as a second language schooling and didn't quite like translate. Yeah, but this is the 80s. He didn't have whatever. Anyway, but this is clearly an error. It's embarrassing. But okay.
What became known as the Calatrava reference 3919. This is the slim round watch with Roman numerals, leaf hands, and that hobnail bezel that has defined a whole generation of Patek Philippe watches. This was Batel's design, and this is what's so important to understand.
Wait, so this guy, this Rene Batel, he designed that watch. Can you believe that? This is like the most famous watch of the 80s from Patek, really is.
The history of Patek Philippe.
This is the Calatrava design. Now, this is this is the watch I had, except not, I had the clean without the, I hate these leaf hands. It's a pet peeve. I had like just stick. There were stick hands, and I think I had my Roman numerals were a little bit cleaner. It was it's the one that Jack Welch. It's always I call it the Jack Welch. The CEO of GE. He had that watch. He wore that. It was on the cover of the book. But this guy, he basically designed this. This was, I guess, the first version, and from there they did variations. But that's his design. The hobnail, and that's his thing.
Was asked what makes the ultimate Patek Philippe, what is the most classic of all Patek Philippe watches, and he decided to, as they say, take out a sketch paper and he drew a picture of a 3919 and shared it with Patek Philippe, and thus the 3919 was born. It's a very interesting case of a marketeer that designed a.
Lou Silver also spotted this. Yeah, that ad it's all fucked up. By the way, I remember when I had I was doing print type stuff, design, magazine stuff, and these fucking graphics people, because back then, I don't know, whatever, I don't know how to use PageMaker or these whatever graphic programs. So I give the content, I give a copy to the graphics guy. These graphics people, it's shocking. 90% of them, they don't read. They're like 90% of these guys, they don't read, and they don't read the copy, and they don't understand how to thing. And I think that's what separates a good graphic design guy from a shitty guy. Unfortunately, I had low budget, so I always had shitty graphic design people. You have to supervise them and whatever. But a good graphic design people reads the copy, and then he knows how to make the words look better. And this Boukiak, Rene Batel missed the whole thing, which is he missed he didn't have the dot, and there was an extra space. We got a €2 super chat. Now that's got heavy hitters in today.
Watch that in fact became the best-selling Patek Philippe reference.
Yeah, that was the classic watch. So the Rene Batel basically is kind of like the what's his name? What's that Boukiak who designed the Nautilus? The guy who designed the Nautilus and the Royal Oak, Barry. What's the guy? Gerald
Genta. Yeah,
he's like a Gerald Genta. This Rene Batel is basically probably more important than Gerald Genta, because this Calatrava was like their bread and butter. This Calatrava was like the 80s watch. This was like the variations of it. That was like the bread and butter it was like their version of the Date Just. It was like every guy who wanted a Patek, that was like the entry level Patek. It was probably like 10 grand back then.
Of all time. So I want to show you this ad because it's so important not only to understand the 39.
Now the photo is beautiful. I mean, the photo, that is where the guy did a good job, because it's like close up, and the way he's holding it, it's like he's like presenting you a treasure. And it looks vaguely, if you look at there's a subliminal image. It looks vaguely like, what does it remind you of, this image, Baron?
I don't know. I don't have anything. Tell me, Colonel.
A vagina. Think about it. Subliminally, doesn't it give you The setup is very vaginal. These guys think about this. This is no joke. This is very vaginal. It's a subliminal design.
All right. Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, this was that they did that at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, Rene Batel was a marketing genius. Yeah, this is the, it's got the whole vibe.
19 in the context that it was built and designed, but also the message of how it was shared. Patel boldly wanted to share it with a black and white picture. And I don't know if it's true or not, but the mythology is those are his actual hands holding the watch.
That's Rene Batel's hand. I mean, allegedly, whatever. Anyway, so this is the ad. Look at this. By the way, I love the old magazine ads. Back, I think they stopped doing this, but up until I think they stopped doing the long copy probably in the mid 90s or early 90s. Yeah, it probably went out of style because people, I don't know, they stopped reading, but it used to be like to sell something, you had like a picture or whatever, and then you had a whole bunch of text telling you a story. And these guys who wrote the ads, the copywriters, I mean, these guys were like, that was the thing that sold it, the story, the narrative, the narrative sold the story. And now nobody knows how to write. People don't know how to read. So now they just have a picture of a product and that's it, and they hire some whores on Instagram or YouTube to influence whores to talk about it.
But whether that's true or not doesn't matter. This was his idea to have his hands presenting the watch to the world. And you can see in the taglines in this ad.
There we go. So that's the ad. It's a beautiful ad, except, it's got grammatical errors.
The boldness of how he used messaging based in tradition and based in mechanical.
But okay, let's read the ad. Oh shit! Hang on. Let's read the ad because the ad, whoever wrote the ad, it's shit. Oh, okay, hang on. When you handle a Patek Philippe, well, actually, I'll let Baron read it because Baron is a better reader. Baron, please read the ad.
Okay, hold up. The first sentence it's kind of cut off.
When you first handle a Patek Philippe.
Okay, you become aware that this watch has the presence of an object of rare perfection. We know the feeling well. Yeah. We experience it every time a Patek Philippe leaves the hands of our craftsmen. You can call it pride. For us, it lasts a moment. For you, a lifetime. We made this watch for you to be part of your life, simply because your life for you, okay, to be part of your life simply because this is the way we've always made watches. And if we may draw a conclusion from 5 generations of experience, it will be this. Choose once, but choose well. Patek Philippe, because it's for a lifetime.
There you go. You get a C+ for reading. C+.
I'm reading off my phone. It's this little image.
Oh, okay. Good excuse.
Based in tradition and based in mechanical watchmaking that made the 3919 the most desirable watch of the era. The watch was immediately a hero. Now, I'm pictured here with all of this negative space around it and the copy. You can see it has just confidence through and through with this ad. The strategy did 2 things for Patek Philippe at the time. It offered an immediate brand legibility. See, for once, you could picture a Patek Philippe without the logo. You just knew what the look of a Patek Philippe was.
Oh, interesting. Okay, interesting point.
And second, he was really pushing the idea of quiet elegance. Rather than chasing trends at the time with his newfangled quartz technology, he was really emphasizing the classic gold watch on the wrist. And he was well ahead of the industry in designing this watch and this ad.
Quiet elegance. Actually, it's true. This ad, if you think about it, it's actually the ad. It's very different. It's more austere than like a Rolex ad of the time, or like whatever, any of these Chomo brands. But Rolex always had like big bold images, like a pilot, some guy diving, whatever. It was like very, the Rolex ads were very like commercial. This is very like, it's like serious. It's like a serious ad
campaign. And this is years between the concept of you never actually own a Patek Philippe. What he created was a grammar of continuity in the world of Patek Philippe in the 1980s. So beyond watches, Patel remained very active in poster art for other companies. It was all about simple geometry, this like high contrast to shared product. And he had the courage to leave things out with this minimalism. Now, it's kind of interesting to see some of his other work because you'll notice that minimalism wasn't always at the core. Now, here's an ad from 1984 from Vogue.
Yeah, look at that. It's a full-page ad. Look at it. Look how much text there is to sell a story. It's for a lady's Nautilus.
And this is a lady's quartz watch. And when you read this copy, it is intriguing because he's really taking you through the history of Patek Philippe. He's actually talking about the electronic master timing systems, which are behind me today. He's talking about how Patek Philippe really pushed the envelope of technology in the 20th century and how quartz is something to be celebrated, and in this case, for a lady's wristwatch. At the same time, he was also talking about the incredible importance of mechanical timekeeping, and that was in particular with men's watches. Here's another advertisement that we could see from that same period of time with where he's showing the Imperial collection. We'll talk about that shortly. And he's tying history once again. He's talking about Queen Victoria's watch, talking about Countess Cushevitz's watch, and he's talking about how the lady today in your life must have a Patek Philippe. He understood.
A lady in your Baron, do you have a lady in your life who deserves a Patek Philippe?
I unfortunately do not.
You got to get on. Hinge. Hinge. That's the place. That's where the Mamdani, the mayor of New York, the communist. That's where he met his wife.
Oh.
Yeah, she's cute. Have you ever seen a picture of her? Mamdani's
I
wife?
have not. I've not.
Oh, she's very cute. She's very cute. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know what she's doing with this bouquet, but but he met her on Hinge, which is like, I mean, I don't know what is that like the new thing? Hinge must be very big. Is that the thing with millennials or the Gen Z? Is that the Gen Z thing?
Could be, because that's how one of my friends met his fiance, and he lives in Manhattan. He is, I think he's about 35. No, he is not. He is definitely not a socialist.
Is he a Marxist?
He is not. I mean, they're practically the same thing.
Explain to me, what is Hinge? Why is Hinge different than Match.com or these other sites?
I think with each generation, there's like a different platform that they use.
Okay, that makes because I wonder, because this is like Hinge, is this like a new, like, what is this like a different thing? Tinder, like did he meet her on Tinder or on what's the other website? Seeking Arrangement. Seeking Arrangement. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Ashley Madison. Have you ever heard of that?
Yo, you know what? One of my friends who signed up for that, he said, well, on for Seeking Arrangement, he says it's all the same girls. He said, so it doesn't matter. I mean, like there and then on on Tinder and on Bumble.
It's the same girls?
Yeah, he says it's the same girls. They're on like all the sites, so it doesn't matter if you use it or not.
Oh, the whoas.
That's right.
By the way, speaking of Ashley Madison, I don't know if that site is still around, but I remember that name because I just remember that because that I was reading about Tucker Carlson. I'm very interested in Tucker Carlson because he's talking about demons. The demon thing really got me. The demons, demons attack. Yeah, and which makes it like nobody else is talking about demons. I mean, this is like a mainstream guy, and he's talking about getting attacked by demons. Fucking crazy. So he he was best friends. So I don't really watch his stuff. I was never like a watch, but I had to like find about this guy. Like, what is? So apparently he was best friends with who? Hunter Biden. They were like best friends. And what was I reading this article? Yes, that's where the Ashley Madison. So Hunter Biden famously back in during the Obama administration, when his dad was the vice president, his daddy, they found him on Ashley Madison. This is what I think this guy's been to like two different, like I don't know how many different times he's been married with he married his brother's sister. He was molesting his own. By the way, he allegedly molested his sister or Joe Biden. Something was going on in that family. There's a lot of incest in that family. Like you Google it, by the way. You Google it.
Yeah, I know. I remember hearing the stories.
Yeah, Joe Biden said that he showered with, or the daughter. She said that, Joe Biden showered with her. It was like
in her diary.
Yeah, when she was like 15 or whatever, and Hunter. There's a whole fucking weird family, and this Tucker Carlson who's like a weird guy. Like he had the bow ties. Remember when he had the bow ties? Yeah.
I do. That's when he first started.
Bow tie guy, the whole thing. So his father is in the CIA. He's like a deep establishment guy, right? So he's buddies with Hunter Biden, and Hunter Biden got Tucker Carlson's son into some school. I think it was George Washington University or something. Or anyway, they're basically buddies. Hunter Biden, who's basically a crackhead. crack. I mean, listen, what do Hunter Biden, Tucker Carlson, and what's his name, Charlie Sheen all have in common?
Hmm. I don't know
Crack,
what.
crack, and gay sex. So Charlie Sheen, Charlie Sheen was famously a crackhead, right? And
Mhm.
and he admitted that he had intercourse. That's right, with male prostitutes. That's right, unbelievable but true, right? And Hunter Biden, I think he Hunter Biden also is like some DJ. I mean, these guys were basically fucking anything that moves. I mean, like his own sister, guys, or whatever. I think Hunter Biden had some gay sex stuff going on, and I think the same thing with Tucker Carlson. Now, here's why I think Tucker Carlson is a closeted homosexual, right? Because I've been getting his stuff in my feed, in my YouTube. So I watch it, and like he's talking a lot about like gay sex. Like he had this guy Milo, who's actually a very entertaining guy. Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever. I did
Yep,
a video of
I've
this. Milo,
seen a few of his videos. Yeah.
yeah, so this guy Milo, and he's like talking to him, like he's going to details and the whole thing. And so you could tell the guy is like you could tell he's like pretending he doesn't really know, but he knows. Like listen, I guarantee you that Tucker Carlson and Hunter Biden, when they definitely, those two guys definitely had some sort of sexual thing going on. They probably had some sort of I don't know if they went all the way, but there's something going on. It's the whole Yale thing. The Yale thing. Anyway,
It's the whole Diddy
I,
thing.
I got distracted. What were we talking about? I had to throw in the Chomo content because that gets the views. But what were we talking about before I got distracted with? Oh yeah, we're
All
talking about
right.
Ashley Madison.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Wait, how did I bring? Oh yeah, so Hinge, right? So Hinge. That's what we were Hinge. And that's how we talked. Okay, that's how we got into that tangent. Okay, and how do? Okay, back to the story. Okay, let's keep watching.
History of the company. He understood the language of the company, and it was all about the messaging of the company, and that's where he really shined. Sadly, he died in 1996, and the mechanical renaissance that he helped accelerate is truly his lasting legacy. Ultimately, his parting gifts to us was as a tone. It was like a cultivated hush, I would call it, that made the watch.
Cultivated hush. I like that.
Watches feel already timeless, but also very desirable. And you can see the whispers of his messaging can still be felt today in the world of Patek Philippe advertising. It's easy to underestimate how high the stakes were at the time for Patek Philippe and for Patel. During the 1980s,
Patel Philippe.
they knew that advertising.
I'm calling Patel Philippe Chai Boy Philippe. Barrett, you know what a Chai Boy is?
A chide boy? No, I do not.
You know what a Chai Boy is? You Google it. CHAIBOY. I'll let the audience Google it. Hang on.
Couldn't save a bad product, but equally great products fall when they lacked a story. And Patel's genius was to fashion that story so boldly, so consistently, that it became indistinguishable from the brand's essence. And that brings us back to September 25th, the Geneva on Shares auction,
Okay,
when I went in armed with a bit of history on Patel and willingness to keep this collection together to further tell this story of this unsung hero. So it was September 25th and the phone finally rang. It was the phone bidder calling me from Geneva.
Oh, he's got to give you the whole story.
I was here in this office ready to phone bid, and my heart was beating with anticipation of the bidding battles ahead. Do I bid with my heart? Do I bid with my mind? Frankly, I decided a little bit of both. So I'm going to take you through lot by lot.
Let's see what this tomato can bought.
What happened? So the first lot was this little 4850. This little beauty from the mid 1990s was a quartz gondola, as we call it, classic ladies' watch, and this was straight from the collection of Rene Patel.
Baron, what do you think of this? So keep in mind it's a ladies' watch, but okay.
All right, so looking at it, I don't know. It reminds me of like a Cartier.
A la poubelle.
Well, I'm not a good judge of women's watches, but it's not for me.
Fucking garbage. Yeah, it's a piece of shit, and it's some sort of cheap strap. Like the whole thing is fuck.
I saw it in that shoebox, and the estimate was 1,500 to 2,000 Swiss francs. So I bid away. I didn't want to go too crazy.
These guys wearing a ladyboy watch on this. Okay.
And I walked away with this watch for 4,800 Swiss francs.
4,800 Swiss. Okay, that's a lot. That's like $6,000. I mean, it's for a lady's watch with a aftermarket, some sort of not even a Patek strap. This would be like, I don't know. It's undesirable. Nobody wants it.
I was thrilled. It was a good start. Then the first ellipse. Now this
Oh,
is
an
a
ellipse.
4830 in
This is what he bought. This is what you call him. This is a piece of shit.
yellow. Ledes, ellipse, quartz.
You know, they're all ugly Roman numerals. This is, by the way, speaking of ugly Roman numerals. So, in my video about Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson has a Rolex Datejust Buckley dial.
That's right. I recall you talking about it in the previous video, and he said like how his Rolex didn't have enough gold in it. That's why it didn't have enough demon repellent properties.
That's why he was attacked by demons in the middle of the night. But he's also got the Buckley dial. There's this Bukiak Buckley on YouTube. He's a low-life grifter. He runs a chop shop, Rolex chop shop, basically selling used Rolex parts of, shall we say, questionable provenance. And he claims that this dial was named after him. Now, you think Rolex is going to name a watch after a guy who runs a chop shop?
Well, it was. I think in the era where it was named, it was a different Rolex back then.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, so this it's printed. It's a cheap thing. The Rolex, the Buckley dial, the so-called Buckley dial. I'm going to call it the Chomo dial. The Chomo dial, the Roman numerals are very thin and they're printed on. They're not applied. They look cheap like this. They're off. They're off. Anyway, this is an ugly watch. I mean, it's stupid.
Classic design. Estimate was very reasonable, like 2,000 to 3,000, and I feel like I stole this at 3,300 Swiss francs.
3,000. I mean, you should melt that. Actually, that probably is the melt value right now because probably it's probably some gold in there. I'd melt that watch. I'd be embarrassed to. I mean, I'd be embarrassed to give that to my wife. If I had a wife, I wouldn't give it. You give that to your wife, you're going to get divorced. I mean, it's the ugliest fucking watch. I mean,
all in, including fees. So the next is a bit of an oddball, which is actually, I'll bring this ad back here. This is a reference 4760. And you can see it pictured in this advertisement upside down, interestingly, because this is a lapel watch meant for a lady to wear. So
yeah, you got all these ladyboy watches. Now, I guess I think Patek gave it to him as a gift or something. Maybe he got it for his wife. I don't know. But these are ugly watches.
You need to tell the time. You just
Patek did make nice ladies' watches. You know what I think? I think a lady's watch, right, should not have Roman numerals. It's too busy. It should be more elegant. First of all, the dial is small as it is usually, right? So you can't have Roman numerals. It's just too busy. It's not elegant. Would you agree, Baron? Are you sensitive to these things?
I never really thought about that because it's like, okay, when I think about Roman numerals on like a watch, I think about mostly the Cartier tank.
Yeah, I think Roman numerals are kind of masculine, right? So, which is why the Buckley dial, like Tucker Carlson has, it's if you don't have them right, they look feminine. Like they got to be done right. Like you can't have Roman numerals on a lady's watch. I think. By the way, I meant to say. So Tucker Carlson and Hunter Biden, they're both drunks and cokeheads. So apparently, Tucker Carlson was a major alcoholic and cokehead in the 90s, or the early 2000s. And apparently he claims that he got sober 20 years ago. So he's no longer doing coke or drinking. But to me, he looks like he's got that angry drunk type of look. Like this guy is like, he's got that angry drunk vibe. So that's how they were friends with Hunter Biden. I mean, think of it. Hunter Biden, who's basically, again, Hunter Biden is a major crackhead. You think, I mean, would you hang out with somebody who's a major crackhead without being a crackhead?
No. There's no point.
Yeah, like you have nothing. Like it's just weird. It's just because here's the thing with drug addicts is that they basically that's what they do all day. Like you don't want to be around that. I mean, unless it does. I mean, I don't know. It bothers me. Like I don't want to be around people doing coke. It's just it's not my thing. And this guy's smoking crack or whatever. Something was going on. Those two guys were having gay sex together in hotel rooms. Guaranteed. This is the bet, of course. Thanks for all you do. Listen, I'm a philanthropist. What can I tell you? Chaos Fizzle, member for 7 months. We haven't seen this guy. Chaos Fizzle, is that a new name? This is here we go. We got major supporters on this channel. But okay, let's go back to marketing genius John Reardon.
Know exactly what time it is on the dial.
Listen, by the way, if it wasn't for me, listen, I feel like this channel is the only channel. Like, we do real, honest reporting, keeping journalism alive. We're exposing the Chomo vibes in the watch community. Oh, this is the thing that I found fascinating about the Tucker Carlson thing. I did the video. I said, you got to watch this thing with this guy Milo Yiannopoulos with Tucker Carlson. It's an amazing video because the guy is like fucking crazy. He's a very flamboyant, this Milo guy. And he goes into crazy stories. Basically, he said, "Did you watch the video, Baron?"
No, but I'll watch it this weekend.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But basically, he said something which I never thought about. Actually, no, I kind of is that the conservative movement, right? The far right or the conservative movement is a lot of closeted homosexuals. Have you heard of this?
I've heard that theory before. Yes.
Okay, so he said that, and it's something that is a very thing, and Tucker says, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I came across this. It's very big. Like it's a big." Now I didn't realize it was a big deal. Like I always knew that, like Democrats, if a Democrat politician would get into trouble, like some sort of scandal, it was always about like stealing money. Like Democrats were known for like stealing money or like a sex scandal with a female, right? Like Bill Clinton, right? Like okay, he's cheating, whatever. Okay. Well, he's stealing money. That's a Democrat politician. The Republicans are always getting into trouble for gay sex. Like the guy in the bathroom,
that is true.
Airport bathroom stuff, like senators with what's the weird shit, and they're always like guys who are like, they're all like conservative, they go to church, blah blah blah. I mean, Barney Frank, the senator from Massachusetts or congressman. Now that guy was an openly homosexual. At least the guy's open about it. Okay, fine. But that guy, he ran a gay escort service out of his apartment in Boston. Did you know that?
I did not.
Or maybe in DC. No, you Google it. No,
I believe it. It's just like how what was it? DC's crack mayor. It's like after he came out that he was like kind of, I don't know, addicted to crack or something. They still elected him.
Yeah, the crack of Marion Barry.
Yeah, that's right. And then there's also what's his name, Ford, out of was it?
That's right,
mayor of Toronto. Yeah.
And his brother is now the like governor or whatever they call it. He's also looks like a fucking crackhead drunk. Doug Ford.
Yeah.
This low-life Canadian bouquet, these fucking Canadians. That's like the bottom of the barrel. Canadians are like even worse than the Australians. And this Doug Ford is I mean, you look at Doug Ford. That's Canada for you, basically. Doug Ford. Anyway, so basically so Barney Frank was running a male prostitution service. Now, maybe he wasn't running it, but somebody was operating a male prostitution service out of his apartment. Is it coincidence or not a coincidence? You connect the dots. You connect the dots. Come on. Anyway, but that's okay. So Tucker Carlson was talking about that all these guys are homosexuals, like these far right guys, like this. What's his name? Nick Fuentes. Do you know this guy, Nick Fuentes?
I do. I've seen a couple of his interviews. He's been getting a lot of press lately.
Yeah, so Nick Fuentes, I saw this thing with what's his name? That guy, the British guy. What the hell is his name? That tomato can.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan. Here's the weird thing. Nick Fuentes, he's like 27, whatever, right? He says he's never been with a woman. Okay, now, okay, hold on a second. He's never been with a woman. He's kind of been ducking whatever. But apparently there's a lot of gay stuff floating around. But here's the thing. Can you imagine this, right? This guy, he's 27. He's a decent looking guy. He's a genuine celebrity. He's got a following. He's a legitimately a cultural celebrity. women love celebrity. I mean, it's like whatever. I'm not saying it for everybody. Obviously, the Hillary Clinton, he's not going to get like, hot left winger, but he could, believe me, if he's got 1 million followers, he can get a lot of tail, right? He says he gets contact, but he turns it away. Now, let me tell you, I can speak from my experience. If I was 27, when I was 27, I would hire 2 secretaries just to respond to the DMs. I'd have these girls lined up around the clock. I mean, that's not normal for a guy not to be having sex with women at 27, unless he's a homosexual. I mean, I don't know. How about you, Baron? What would you do if you were in his shoes? Would you not have sex with women? I mean,
I don't know, because it's tough for him, because he's like, I don't know, because I'm sure once you're famous, it's you're watching out for like the gold diggers and the fame whores.
I couldn't care less. I mean, listen, I just know that if I went without sex for like a couple of days in my 20s, I'd be going crazy. I'd want to punch a wall. Like, it's impossible. It's like, this guy, something's wrong with this. This guy's definitely doing. Anyway, so he was talking about Nick Fuentes, and who did he say was gay? But okay, so Milo would know. So he basically said this guy, Nick Fuentes, the other guy. He basically said all these guys are gay, and Tucker Carlson for sure is gay. But here's the weird thing. He said that the guy who was the Pete Buttigieg, whatever, I call him Pete Buttigieg. Mm-hmm. Pete Buttigieg, who's married to a guy. Pete Buttigieg is married to a guy. Milo and Tucker said that he's a fake homosexual. He's doing it like he's basically a straight guy who married a gay guy and adopted 2 black babies to become more electable. I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, to me, Pete Buttigieg looks like, absolutely gay. I mean, he just gives off that gay.
Okay, so if he did do that, I mean, he's committed to the grift.
You have to be. No, that's 100%. That's a commitment. That's a big commitment. It's kind of like a guy. It's like a guy who wants to be a champion athlete or whatever, win medals, and he can't do it as a man, so he becomes he claims to be a transsexual without chopping anything off. But that's a commitment. It's like that swimmer, Leah, whatever. Was it Leah or something? No, who's the guy? The guy.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was Leah Thomas or something, right?
Yeah, this is a dude. He's a big fucking dude, like 6 foot tall guy, who shaves his legs, and all of a sudden now he's a girl and he wins all the races. But listen, I gotta say something. That takes a lot of balls to do that, because he's got a winner's mindset. He's willing to do anything to win. That's you got to do sometimes. You got to do that. Okay, hold on a second. If the guy's a devout Catholic, why is he gay? And by the way, this is definitely he's definitely gay. Nick Fuentes, there's a lot of stuff that's because I Google it. There's a whole bunch of stuff with him going with guys. You Google this stuff. There's definitely something going on there. Something's going on there. It's not normal. It's not normal. Okay, if the guy was a devout Catholic, he'd be married. It's not normal for a guy in his 20s to not be having sex and to say, "Oh, women, this is not normal." It's just, it ain't normal. Oh, hold on a second. He says he's never. I think he says he's never. He says he's never kissed a girl. I think also. I think he's never. Something is weird. Something is fucking weird. I mean, that's not normal. That is bizarre. Okay, but let's get back to the details. Hang on. Okay.
So I've seen these before. Only 50 examples were made as part of the 150th anniversary celebration of Patek Philippe in 1989. So I was thrilled to be able to acquire this. The estimate was only 2,000 to 3,000, and purchased it for 3,800 Swiss francs.
I'd melt that watch immediately. That's a melt. I mean, that's like melt value.
Once again, I feel like I was getting some great deals that day. The sale went on to lot 14. It was just a simple 5010J gondola. This is the first men's watch of the day that I'm quite sure Patel had on his wrist based on the strap. And
this is a nice watch, actually. This is a nice looking watch. Baron, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, of the ones we've seen so far, this is the best looking of the bunch.
It's got it's basically a Cartier cologne. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking. How's it going? It looks like a cross between like a Cartier and I would say just the face reminds me a little bit of some of the JLC reversos.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a very interesting observation. Yeah, it's got that. Yeah, it has that JLC vibe. But you know what? By the way, I love the Roman numerals. I love these are like I love the design. Even the hands are like kind of cool. They're kind of cool. Are these sword hands? Is that what you call the sword hands? They're kind of cool. And I think this is the watch that Rene Batel actually wore because the strap looks worn.
Wore and enjoyed for years. This is a particular piece from 1990.
Look at that. That looks good. That's a good looking fucking watch. I think that's the best one. Hang on a second. Let's see here.
93 estimate was
that watch will repel demons. Hold on, Baron. What do you think of this? So the Tucker Carlson, the thing that got me interested is he's talking about the demons, all the time. Everything is demons. But the guy said, like I saw a video. I'm getting these feeds. I'm getting these videos of Tucker all day long. Like I think if you watch one thing, they keep feeding you. The algorithm gives you. So because I've never seen it before. And he's talking about he's sleeping in bed with his wife and 4 hunting dogs. Basically, he sleeps with his wife and 4 hunting dogs. Is that normal for a guy to be in bed with his wife and 4 dirty dogs? I mean, is that like even hygienic?
It is 100% not hygienic, but I think when people have animals, especially that many, they're I don't know. I heard this is a joke. It was kind of like, when you at a veterinarian's office, right? You can sell them the special feed, with the huge markup, the cat food or whatever, when they have 3 or more cats. That's when you can sell them the overpriced cat food. So there's something about people that have more than 2 pets. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're mentally disturbed. You know what it is? I think these people I think the problem with the Western civilization is too many pets. Like everybody's like, because they instead of having babies, they get pets, dogs, cats, and it's AI virtual girlfriends, groomers. But the thing with sleeping with dogs is fucking weird. 4 dogs, that's with your wife. I mean, that's fucking weird. Anyway, so he says he was sleeping in bed with 4 dogs, and that's when he was attacked by demons. So and since then I've been commentating on Tucker, because he's a Rolex guy and he's got demons attacking him.
3,000 to 5,000. I bid a little aggressively on this and walked away with it with 6,500.
6,500 for that watch. It was, that's not bad. I mean, basically it's $8,000. I think maybe a little bit more. A little high, but not bad.
So far, all the prices were exactly where I expected they could be, and I was sure I was going to get a bargain for the main event. The main event here is the reference 3919. This is the watch that he designed that truly changed the...
Okay, what's interesting, this watch is on a deployment class, which I've never seen. I've never seen these Calatravas on deployment, which is whatever, not a big deal, but you see it's on a deployment class. Okay. Ugly dial, but okay.
Of course, of Patek Philippe's history. To own the 3919 from Patel is a holy grail.
From Patek Philippe.
Grail of grails, and I was willing to go up to 100,000.
He was willing to pay 100,000. Can you believe that?
Is that? I don't know. Okay, so that looks a lot like the modern current catalog Calatravas. It looks like that.
There's a million of these. You go on Chrono, you get a million. These are $6,000. You can't give them away. It's like a basic bitch Nautilus. Not Nautilus. Excuse me, Calatrava. It's like the ugliest Calatrava, but he was willing to pay $100,000. Why? Because this was the watch owned by the guy who designed it and was associated with it. So basically, he's buying the story. You understand? He's buying the narrative. That's what makes it valuable. Without Rene Batel attached, it's a $6,000 watch. So let's see. So this is interesting. So he's willing to pay $100,000. Let's see how much the watch sold for.
Swiss francs for this watch, but I held my cards very close with both the auction house and friends. It's a small world,
and I
wanted to see if I could get this for a great price. So I thought I might be able to get it for a somewhat reasonable price, but as always, there was an underbidder. There was an underbidder out there who I do hope contacts me because I'd love to know who you are.
It was me, John. I was the underbidder, you dumb bitch.
Also understood the importance of this watch because the estimate was 4,000 to 6,000. The bidding started at like 2,000 or 3,000. So I bid 4, I bid 5.
6,000. Yeah, the watch is worth $6,000. You couldn't give it away for $6,000. It's so
Six. There must have been at least a half a dozen bidders that were up to like 15,000. And then there was 2 of us. And there was another bidder, and I can't wait to find out who that was because we just continued to battle it out. First we hit 10, 15, 20, 25. And then eventually it hammered and brought all in 35,000 Swiss francs.
35,000 Swiss francs hammer price. You know how much that is in American? Baron von Noob knows how much that is because he knows what the Swiss franc is. It's fucking a lot of money. Okay, even Van Gogh, little Van Gogh, sells for $9,000 with a warranty. So basically, John Reardon is willing to pay $100,000 because of the story, the tomato can story. Now let's find out more.
That is truly a world record for 39.19, and I am.
He basically set the record. Obviously. Okay, so here's the problem. The problem is when you buy something in a public auction, and you set the highest price ever, that's a complete outlier. It's almost impossible to resell that thing because, the problem is at high dollar prices. You're dealing with the buyers are all sophisticated. They're all people who, they're not like. Tomato cans. They're people who are like business people who are like, hard-nosed negotiators. If they know what you paid, they'll give you, okay, I see you paid $10,000. Okay, I'll give you 10,500 for your time. I mean, that's like the typical thing. Here's $100 for your time. I mean, so
thrilled to know that this is now part of collectability. That's almost $50,000, including fees. So that is an important number for the reference 39.19. And I'm just left speechless to have this watch here in front of me. Let's see what happened next. Lot 16 was another watch I very much wanted. This is a reference on 3960J. So this is the officer's watch that came out in 1989, and Patek was instrumental.
Hang on a second. This is a watch that Baron Red likes. This is a Baron Red special.
That's right. No, I don't think you should call it Baron Red special. I think you should call it a Michael Ovitz special.
Oh. Oh, that's funny. No, okay. Touche. Look at this. By the way, the 2 Michael Ovitz, I think, what are they, the 30 or the 5140s? Are being offered by somebody's selling a couple of them for like big money. But okay, so this he's got the Breguet numerals, white dial, porcelain dial, probably.
And even the way the lugs look
in 1989.
Even the way the lugs look, you could tell me that that's a Breguet, and I believe you.
I mean, you guys got everything going for it, and the crown, the winding crown,
the most pivotal year in Patek Philippe's history. And this particular watch was estimated at 6 to 8. I ended up buying this for
6 to 8. Baron, would you pay 6,000? Would you pay $8,000 for this watch?
8? If it's a porcelain dial, I don't know. It's also. I think 8's about fair. I think 8's about fair money. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. It's not my style, but it's worth $8,000. It's got a lot of gold in it because it's got the case thing in the back. I think also
the solid back.
It's got like a certain weird vibe. People like that watch. So Baron von Noob was saying, watches with a story are only there to persuade the chomos to pay too much. Yes.
For 19,000 at the end of the day. Now the last watch that brought me to this auction is the reference 5015J from 1994.
Oh, this is like the, what do you call it? It's not the look at this. It's very busy. It's very Baroque.
This would have been one of the last watches that Patel received or bought before he passed away. And indeed, his name is on the certificate of origin, so it's a quite special piece. I was willing to go up to 40,000 Swiss for this. The estimate was 10 to 15,000. Ultimately, I was thrilled to be able to acquire it.
10 to 15,000. Yeah, 10 to 15,000 estimate. Yeah, I mean, this is a watch like nobody wants it for 10. You know who likes this type of watch? Indians. Because they're very like Indian looking. You know what I mean? Like very like ornate gold. It's got a very like Indian vibe.
22,000 Swiss francs all in. So I walked away with all 7 of these watches at the end of the day, and the collection remains intact.
Oh, the collection is intact. He bought all the watches. Okay, well, now here comes the punchline.
So two questions: who was I bidding against, and why did I buy these?
You
So there's someone else out there that
John.
truly understands the importance of Battelle. And now you watch this video, I hope you understand it too. Because here at Collectability, we don't just buy trends; we buy with purpose. We try to understand the trends from the past, present, and future to really make educated decisions and based on
just like this channel. That's right.
And what we present to you. It's interesting to look at watches in a whole new light, and I think pieces from the 80s and 90s, the collecting community is really starting to look at differently. These are truly the star lots of the future. So understand.
He's saying that these are the star lots of the future. These watches are going to be star lots of the future. Would you agree, Baron Red?
Battelle.
Right.
These watches are going to be like, they're going to be selling at Philips, for like crazy prices in 5 years.
I don't think so. I mean, as we discussed, I mean, the last two were decent, but the rest of them, they're just dogs.
I think they're all dogs, with the exception of that Roman numeral. What do you call it? What do you call it? The one we discussed, the gondola Roman numeral. And that one is like, okay, it's kind of like if you get it cheap, it's an okay watch. It's not like a first choice. It's like it's kind of like a bargain. It's something you get if you get like a super deal on it. It's not like anybody's chasing it. I mean, this guy. Okay, so he's basically hyping up a story. He bought the whole collection of this guy Battelle, and now he wants to sell it as one collection to some tomato can. That's his shtick now. Watch this.
We understand what his passion was all about and the messaging that he was trying to deliver. And he understood history, he understood design, he understood marketing.
So he did this whole video. He did this whole marketing genius video, basically as a marketing piece to sell the collection.
And he was truly a giant in the field of advertising. So that's it. Before we split this collection up and sell it on Collectability, I truly hope we don't need to set it up. I'm offering this entire collection for sale, all 7 watches.
For how much? How much, John?
With their boxes and papers. For sale to you, our YouTube followers. Please contact me directly if you're interested. And I'm willing to sell these.
I hope Baron Red, you should get it. I hope your email says Baron Red or Baron Von Noob. I hope everybody watching this contacts this tomato can and says, I'm very serious, and what's your wire? Get this guy, jerk this guy around. Just get this guy.
At a great price to you, as long as we agree that we keep this collection intact, so we can continue to tell the story of René Battelle.
Story. It's all about the story, the narrative.
Importance to Patek Philippe. Maybe we could do an exhibition, maybe even a book to really dive deep into.
We'll do a book.
Battelle's legacy. And I think that's a great way to end with one of my favorite quotes from René Battelle. He was known to have said many times, quote, "Sell the sizzle, not just the steak."
Sell the sizzle, not the steak. There you go. John Reardon is selling the sizzle. This bukiak lowlife. Unbelievable. Okay, I don't know. Baron Red, what do you think of this bukiak? I mean, the marketing genius or tomato can? Who's a bigger marketing genius, him or Anthony Farrer?
I think Anthony Farrer. He's the the gold standard for our time.
Yeah, hang on. Now I want to show you something. This is I got a piece of real history here. Interesting. This is by coincidence today. Now hang on a second. We got an exclusive. We have an exclusive unboxing. This is an unbelievable unboxing. Hang on a second. Remove this.
All right.
Wait. I'm gonna give you an exclusive unboxing. Wait. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. We're gonna give you an exclusive. Hang on. There we go. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, I got fucking ads here. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Okay, we got an exclusive, and I'm gonna hop real quick. But okay, here we go. You see this? So Jeff, you know who Jeffrey Epstein is, right?
Yeah. Oh, please tell me you bought his desk, please.
Hold on, wait. So Jeffrey Epstein's desk was up for auction. I was just reading this article in the New York Post. This came out in the Post today. Now, so Jeffrey Epstein, who's, by the way, the whole story is bullshit. The guy's not a pedophile. This guy's like, hiring, giving employment to young girls. He's giving employment to like 18-year-old girls. No, by the way, what happened was some of them lied about their age. They were working at the massage parlor in Florida, and they're like, underage, but they said they were, it's like they look the other way. If this was like if this was like a gay sex thing, nothing, he would never have gotten into trouble. It's like the country, the whole culture is against the patriarchy. Anyway, hold on. So Jeff, so this is in his office. This was his office. So this is the desk. This was up for auction, right? This is the desk he sat behind every day. And you imagine, like, he had the who's who of the planet. So the desk is on the right. The who's who of the planet was coming to his, sitting across. This is the desk, right? 2,500 to 5,000 estimate. And by the way, so this is actually from, apparently this was, early, it's kind of like a Biedermeier design, early 1800s. And I think it's a map desk. It's a giant desk for these drawers. You put giant maps or like, etchings, drawings, whatever, giant like stuff into these things, right? It's a giant desk. It's 10 feet wide by 5 feet deep. And this is Jeffrey Epstein behind this desk, right? Talking to Steve Bannon. He's got Steve Bannon there. And he had major guys sitting there, right? So this is him at the desk. He's got a computer. He's got, apparently the article was about some of the photos on the desk had girls, they're naked or something. I don't know. Something is going on. Interestingly, he has an Hermes ashtray. I have the same exact ashtray. No, I think, no, it may not be, but I love the Hermes ashtrays. He doesn't smoke cigars. I don't know. He uses, I guess, to keep his glasses. So this is the desk, the Jeffrey Epstein desk. Now, and by the way, so this desk, it's legit, like a legitimate, like, okay. So this was basically stuff. Okay, so Baron, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so what do you think as a cultural artifact? So these are the guys. Think about this. They sat across from him at that desk. Bill Gates, Clinton, the who's who of the world. Mm-hmm. Estimates. So that's the desk. That was in the office right there. Look at that. Right there. That's the desk. That's Jeffrey Epstein's desk. So what would you pay for that desk?
All right. It's a map desk. And then it's got the celebrity provenance. All right. So if they're estimating, I think it's going to go over estimate.
There's two stories. There's two stories. Story one is the utility value. Now, again, it's not for everybody because, it's a giant antique desk. But, some people do need a giant, it's a thing they need. The other part is the cultural artifact value, that this was the desk Jeffrey Epstein sat behind for, a decade. And imagine the type of things he may have done on top of that desk, because there's a lot of space on that desk. You understand that, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to guess it went for between 15 and 20.
Now, what do you think? I mean, but if you were, let's say you're a guy in Texas, you're a guy like an oil man in Texas, and you what do you call it? A lot of these guys, they're weird, they got nothing better to do. They collect weird shit. They got big houses because real estate is cheap in Texas. They got giant houses. You got like a 20,000 square foot house. That desk would be perfect for.
Yeah.
So here was more pictures of Jeffrey Epstein's desk. This is from, so this desk, the Daily Mail did a whole thing about this desk. Disturbing photo on Epstein's desk sparks horror over incapacitated girl. Whatever. It's alleged allegations. But what do you think? I mean, look at this. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that's a good speculation, the Jeffrey Epstein desk?
No, it's terrible. I think like this auction is the most you'll ever get for that desk.
Hang on a second. Let me show you something. Hang on a second. Let me show you something. Hang on a second. We have an exclusive here. We have an exclusive. The Colonel is now the owner of the Jeffrey Epstein desk.
This is so good.
Here we go. We got a show exclusive. We got the Jeffrey Epstein desk. Now, I have use for it. I mean, I have actually practical applications. But So so basically I got to ship it out. It's going to cost me like 800 bucks. So there's what do you call it? So the reason the tangent is this Bukiak, what's his name? This Bukiak Reardon is flipping stuff right out of auction. I was gonna like keep it for my own use because it's a good, it's a great, it's a great piece. But I'm thinking, now, just like the provenance of what's his name? This Patek Philippe guy. The Patek Philippe guy, his watch. Maybe I should sell this for. I mean, what do you think? Do you think I should put this up on eBay afterwards, or what do you think I should do?
If you can get more for it, perhaps I think this now is while Jeffrey Epstein, he's still in like the cultural eye.
Right. Yeah. I mean, people will forget in a couple of years. They're going to forget. Yeah. But this is
No, but ignoring that, I think I think you got it for a good price, like for $250 plus. Let's say roughly 5K shipped. No, I think this is good because it's like, look, it's made from it's made from real wood. If you were to commission to have something built new, like you'd probably be paying roughly the same amount, maybe more.
Yeah. Well, first of all, nobody would buy a new desk of that size. It's crazy. It's just unless somebody's like, I don't know, some weird use. But no, definitely no. I think realistically, he probably paid, like, I would say, because he bought it from this guy Juan Pablo Molyneux, who's a world famous. He's the guy, decorator, interior decorator, designer, and that Juan Pablo Molyneux himself is like a loaded. He basically, he designs houses for like billionaires, right? But he probably paid like 30 grand. I think between 30 and 50 grand he probably paid for that desk. Because he paid, it's probably worth, like, I would say, at auction, these things always go cheap because, furniture, nobody buys, furniture always goes cheap because, you have to schlep it. You know what I'm saying? You got to, like, unless you live locally, you're going to put it on a truck. But, people don't want to deal with that. And especially, when you're dealing with a storage, like, even like, nobody wants to store stuff. So, selling art, like, sometimes I would buy furniture to resell the furniture. Like, I would use it. And I always actually made money selling the furniture. Like, furniture, for whatever reason, does sell, but it's very, very, like, it's a real pain in the ass because it's like, it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And you got to deal, it's an elephant. It's a white elephant in the fucking room. And then you got to wait for the right, you can't, you can't put it on the shelf. It takes up all that space.
Yeah. So Colonel, just, do you know, are those two cabinets, were they also put up for auction?
No, those are beautiful cabinets. I would have bought those. Those are great. Actually, those are like what do you call it? That's like, what the hell is it? It's, what the hell do they call it's, shit. It's these French cabinets, right? Usually they're like tortoiseshell and they have little drawers, and in the middle, when you open it, there's like a whole thing inside. They're very cool. Actually, I would love to buy one. I've always wanted to get one of these. They're actually, like, relatively speaking, reasonable. I mean, unless it's like a major name, but I love that stuff. Yeah, I if it comes up, I'd love to buy it. No, you know what? I think, what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it hasn't come up for auction because I think this picture is their photo. They have stuff identified that has sold or is being offered. So those two cabinets are probably
coming up soon. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd love to buy them.
And then I'm also looking at the right next to the I guess it's like a love seat or a couch, that end table.
Oh yeah.
The end table. I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure probably if you email the auction house where you got the desk from with this photo, and be like, hey, I'm interested if this comes up. The cabinet and the end table. They'll probably put you on a list.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask them. So it's I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, if you buy those two pieces, you have to buy that chair as well.
You got you got to get the whole set, the suite, the whole matching the suite. Because then I could do all of those watch collector meetups. I'll put on the size 7 Skechers. I'll invite watch collectors over for, a private meetup, I mean, female watch collectors, maybe like, there's, that Watch Nicholas guy, he got $5,000 from this, there's a couple of these old ladies that send money to these grifters, these watch grift streams. He got $5,000 from her. Can you believe that?
Like at once or over like a period?
She wired him $5,000, and then she invited him to come out to meet her in Florida.
Wow.
And
did he go?
He didn't go because he claims, she's crazy, whatever. But I think apparently she's pretty hot. I mean, she's like a cougar. But he said she sent him nude pictures and she was very hot. But he thinks she's crazy, whatever. I think he might be. I think Nick might be like a Nick Fuentes type of guy. I think he might be kind of gay.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, if some cougar sends me $5,000 and she's hot and invites me to visit her in, I'm not going to say which location in Florida, but it's like let's just say an upscale city. It's not Miami. It's like an upscale place. And it's not Palm Beach. It's another place. But anybody
is it Sarasota?
I'm not going to say it, but it's okay. In the area.
Okay.
It's a very upscale place. Like you wouldn't go? Of course you'd go. Come on, you crazy? She's sending you money. You got to earn your keep.
That's right.
I mean, what is she going to become a stalk? I mean, come on, really? I mean, that's crazy. You got to go and visit. So, how did we get distracted with that story? We went on a tangent. Groomers,
just
right?
Came up, yeah.
Groomers but what do you think? But the reason I mentioned the thing with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes is, I think there's parallels between the groomers, the whole Chomo thing going on in the conservative movement and the watch community, right? There's a lot of closeted homosexuality in the watch community. I think which I think is the reason I've brought it up in a bunch of videos is because I think it's funny. I think it's kind of funny. And it's very obvious, with all these, you got these Diego guys, you got the Timepiece Gentleman, of course, was a male prostitute. The Timepiece Gentleman was legitimately a male prostitute.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't think it's closeted. I think it's just out in the open, with the gifts of clone and the
clone and video games. Video games.
Yeah, and the shopping. Yeah.
Shopping, that's right. We're talking about Artem Pizdets, Tim Wright being groomed by elderly gentleman in size 7 Skechers who invites this guy, this poor Ukrainian immigrant, this migrant off the boat to go to get his a manicure, a haircut, and most likely an anus waxing and bleaching. Most likely, that I think probably happened. I'm implying. I'm extrapolating.
Yeah.
I'm extrapolating. If an elderly man invites you to go for a haircut and a manicure next, he's gonna want to get your anus waxed and bleached. So at these places. So that's part of the whole thing. So there's a weird thing going on in the watch community and the conservative politics, or the whole. I saw another guy. It was a weird guy. What the hell? I can't watch this guy because he came up in the video. His name I think is Tim Pool. You know this guy, Tim Pool?
Yeah. Yep.
I can't watch it because this guy's fucking weird he wears like the fucking hat indoors, like a wool cap, and he's got a skateboard. I mean, this is a grown man. This guy's his 30s? Yeah. This guy's got to be in his 30s, right? He's not a 15-year-old kid.
I think he might be like mid 30s.
Yeah, this guy's I think he like I can't watch his stuff. I just can't do it. I mean, I see the video and the headline. I can't watch because I find it repulsive. I can't watch some fucking middle-aged guy dressed indoors, dressed up with a wool cap like a skater guy, and he's got a skateboard on his deck on a thing. Like, I can't take you seriously. I mean, come on, it's crazy. I think that guy's trying to groom, young gentlemen. Like, I think that's what he's trying to, that's this thing. He's, oh, hey, fellow kids.
That's right.
Hey, fellow kids, let's go skating together.
Yeah.
And don't tell your mom. I mean, I think that's what's going on with it. It is a weird thing. I mean, I don't think there's a parallel on the left. I think on the left it's just more like open. It's like open, like, you have like more just like, open, all sorts of sodomy going on. It's in the open. It's not like hidden. It's so that way you're aware of it, which is fine. It's okay. It's not like, imagine this. Imagine a guy like you. You go to a watch meetup and some middle-aged guy says, "Hey, you want to come to my hotel room for a private watch meetup?" I mean, now here's the thing.
Private watch viewing.
Private watch viewing, yeah. Now here's the thing. If you know that you might get molested, then you're probably not going to go, because if you know that this guy is like, if you know in the open that this is what this guy's thing is, it's kind of like, what is that thing? I think the thing. I don't know if this is an urban myth or whatever, but like in the bathhouse community or whatever, like if you had a certain color bandana in your back pocket that was like that told people like what you were into. You're familiar with that? Like if it was like a red bandana, black bandana, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. You heard of that?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Yeah. So that's the same thing. So like, if you go to a watch meetup and a guy's got like a yellow bandana in his back pocket, that he's into like whatever, like golden showers or whatever it is, right? So that if he invites you, that's what you should expect. So you're not gonna go unless you're into that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like at least be open with people. Don't what do you call it? Blindside them. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm in this channel, we're a fan of transparency. So that's the deal. All right, Baron, I have to hop. So thank you for joining, and I want to thank our show sponsors. We got members. We got loyal members. We got Baron Von Noob. You got Chaos Fizzle. You, of course, and we have a €2 donation. So in this, now €2. Look, it costs millions to keep the show on the air, but euros is better than nothing, So thank you, Baron Von Noob, for supporting the channel. Baron Red, thank you, and have a wonderful weekend. And let me know how Hinge works out for you.
All right, thank you, Colonel. I'll talk to you later.
You should go on Hinge and use Mamdani's picture. Use his
to see what happens. Yeah.
Location, because you're basically located in prime Chomo stand. I mean, you're like the ultimate, Marxist community. I mean,
there are legit communists out here. It's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, what's interesting? I actually saw in the last month, I've seen 3 gentlemen wearing Antifa T-shirts. Would you believe that they have their own T-shirts? Like literally, and they actually look more or less.
They have their own merch, yeah.
Of course, in Chomo stand, San Francisco, which you expect, okay. But one guy had like, I think like kind of the blue hair a little bit, but looked more or less normal. And the other guy was wearing like a hoodie, and was like a middle-aged guy, like whatever. And then I saw a guy today in Vegas, which you would not expect, at a Whole Foods. I'm at a Whole Foods, suburb of Vegas. Summerlin, which is like, there's like soccer moms going there, cougars and soccer moms. This guy's wearing an Antifa T-shirt, a middle-aged also guy. All these guys are white guys. They're all either middle-aged or the guy was a young guy, but it's the whole thing. It's all these white people who are like, they're all what is the word?
They hate themselves.
And
Yeah.
by the way, they're all from like upper middle class families originally. They're not like, underprivileged. They're all basically, they
Yeah.
probably went to private schools. They went to like, Vassar College or, they're like Mamdani. They're all like Mamdani types, The parents are like professors, whatever. Yeah, they grew up in $1 million house, and now all of a sudden they're protesting, By the way, Karl Marx also, the same thing. This is all the Marxists are all the same.
Yeah. He like.
We
I
all
don't
hang,
think he.
hang from lampposts.
Yeah.
So, all right, Baron, have a great weekend. Let me know how the Mamdani thing works for you.
All right. I'll talk later, Colonel. Thank you. All right. Bye.